Good morning and welcome to day 10 of our series. This morning I want to introduce the topics I'll be talking about this evening in our midweek service, and those topics are stress and motivation. You know, it can be really confusing when you read in the Bible and learn all about God's peace, and yet you experience extreme stress in your own life. We're going to talk about that and what to do about that. But first, let's actually define what stress is. According to the dictionary, stress is a physical, mental, or emotional strain or tension. Now, we tend to think that all stress is bad, but the fact of the matter is some stress is necessary and even good. For example, the physical strain we put on our muscles in order to make them stronger. But when we talk about stress, we're normally talking about something that's excessive or negative, and something that's very difficult to deal with. Stress can also be emotional and physiological. Uh, when we try to adjust with environmental circumstances that disrupt or threaten to disrupt our daily functioning. So, a stressor is the environmental circumstance that causes people to make some sort of an adjustment in their life. A stress reaction or response is the physiological, physical, or behavioral response that are displayed in the face of a stressor. Now, these stress responses can be physical, psychological, or behavioral. They tend to occur together, and one response can trigger another response. And you may even be surprised to find out that God will sometimes allow stress into your life for a purpose. We'll talk about that tonight. It's also important to know that you can develop coping strategies for stress and how to deal with them on a daily basis. Here is something to consider when you're talking about stress. Psalms 34:4 says, I sought the Lord, and he heard me, and delivered me from all my fears. Well, thank God for that. Now, let's talk a moment about motivation. Motivation is defined as the various factors that affect the initiation, direction, intensity, and the persistence of our behavior. A motive is the reason or purpose for our behavior. We can be motivated by our emotions, our physical wants and needs, our psychological wants and needs, our state of arousal, or a combination of any of the above. People tend to be motivated or moved into action by a lot of different things. They want to provide for their family. They want to make somebody close to them proud. This past Sunday, when I spoke about the truth, Teresa, well, Sister Bragg. Anyhow, afterwards she came up to me and she told me that she was really proud of me and that I had done a good job. Boy, did that make me feel good. Now, a lot of people came up and said that they enjoyed what I had done and they had learned a lot. But when somebody I loved came up to me and said, I'm really proud of you, boy, that just set my heart aflutter. Now, we can also be motivated to pursue a goal. If this pursuit seems to be noble to us, then we justify our motivations. Proverbs 14:23 says, in all labor there is profit, but idle chatter leads only to poverty. So, our motive for supporting our family, for serving people in our lives, and pursuing the things that we are passionate about should not be personal advancement or pride. Not just that. Now, certainly there is something to that. But shouldn't we be motivated by our love for God and how God wants us to love others? Nonetheless, we need to examine our motives to ensure that they are righteous. Finally, tonight we will learn ways to help us to make sure our motives are what they should be, and to evaluate them. So until I see you this evening, remember this. Philippians 4 and 13 tells us, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I hope this has whetted your appetite for our service tonight. I look forward to you being there, either in person or online, but I hope you choose to join us tonight when we talk more about stress and motivation. May you go graciously with God today, and may all your steps be ordered of the Lord. I hope to see you this evening.